So you've got your pen and a notebook and a timer set for 90 minutes. And if you don't have those things yet, press pause on me, go get them and come right back. Hi and welcome to Write It Out for the week of July 16th, 2023. Write It Out is brought to you by Write for Wellness, for you and for Enliven Muskoka. Enliven Muskoka provides services and programming to anyone whose life has been impacted by cancer. If you can, please consider making a donation or volunteering for Enliven Muskoka today. So what is Write It Out? Write It Out is 90 minutes of time that you set aside for yourself every week just to write and find out what's on your mind. The most important thing is to turn off the editor in your head. Don't worry about spelling, punctuation, grammar. It doesn't even need to make sense. The writing that you do is just for you. You may decide you want to share it at a later time, and that's absolutely fine. It's whatever you'd like to do with it. My hope is that you will look back at your writing and find some little gems in there, some nuggets of wisdom that you hadn't realized when you wrote them down today. And what to write? Well, you might want to write a journal entry, a story, a poem, a letter, a song, anything at all that's asking to be written. I'll provide you with a word prompt and a story prompt, and you can use one or both of those prompts to help you with your writing today. They are just prompts. You don't have to actually use the word. It's just to help you get started. So I do like to begin with a short relaxation, and that's just to separate the busyness of your day, and it's a trigger to yourself to know that, okay, now is the time for me. I'm going to get quiet and I'm going to write. So find a nice quiet place to sit, inside, maybe looking out a window, or outside if you can, if the bugs aren't too bad. And you can close your eyes or just watch the screen here. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Relax your eyes, your ears, your jaw. Relax your throat. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. From shoulders, follow arms down into elbows, relaxing. And elbows into wrists, and wrists into hands. Just relax your hands and your arms. Feel the heat that's in your hands and the aliveness that's there. And just notice. And again, from your neck and your spine, follow down, relaxing behind your heart space and your lungs. And your belly, and your hips and your sitting bones. Just relax them down into your chair or into the ground. And from your hips, follow your legs across to knees, and from knees down into ankles, and from ankles into feet. And feel the ground or the floor beneath your feet. Feel the support that's there. Feel the grounding. And take another nice deep breath. So our word prompt for today is the word lower, or lowered, or lowering, or low, or high, or whatever that word makes you think of. And the story prompt is from the book Option B by Sheryl Sandberg and Adam Grant. Facing adversity, building resilience, and finding joy. So here's our story prompt for today. And yeah, it's very buggy. This actually is my option B spot. My option A was down by the river, and the bugs were horrible. I hadn't put on any spray or anything, so I don't like to do that too often. So yeah, they were horrible. So this is better. It's a little more open and breezy. So here's our story prompt. I had been trying to keep a journal since childhood. Every couple of years I would start a new one, only to give up just a few days later. But over the 5 months following Dave's funeral, 106,338 words poured out of me. I felt like I couldn't breathe until I wrote everything down, from the smallest detail of my morning to the unanswerable questions of existence. If I went even a few days without journaling, the emotions would build up inside me until I felt like a dam about to burst. At the time, I didn't understand why writing on an inanimate computer was so important. Shouldn't I be talking to my family and friends who could actually respond? Wouldn't it be better to try to distance myself from the anger and grief rather than use the limited time I had alone each day to dredge it all up? Now it's clear that my compulsion to write was guiding me in the right direction. Excuse me. Journaling helped me process my overwhelming feelings and my all too many regrets. I thought constantly about how if I'd known that Dave and I had only 11 years, I would have made sure we spent more time together. I wished that in the hard moments in our marriage, we had fought less and understood each other more. I wished that on what turned out to be our last anniversary, I had stayed home rather than flying with my kids to attend a bar mitzvah. And I wished that when we went for a hike that final morning in Mexico, I'd walked by Dave's side and held his hand instead of walking with Marnie while he walked with Phil. As I wrote out these moments, my anger and regret began to lessen. Philosopher Soren Kierkegaard said that life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. Journaling helped me make sense of the past and rebuild my self-confidence to navigate the present and the future. That's our story prompt today, a little bit of journaling encouragement for you. Again, our word prompt is the word lower. You've got 90 minutes on your timer. Press pause on me and write it out. And welcome back. Please take a moment to thank yourself for showing up for you today, regardless of how many words you were or weren't able to write today. The important time is that you spent the time for you today. You showed up, and that's exactly what you needed to do. You may also want to give a word of gratitude to your helpers today, whether that was a bird you saw outside or an animal or a pet. Or the location where you are, or the rain, or the lack of mosquitoes. But yeah, throw a little bit of gratitude in there, and I'm actually going to show gratitude to my mosquitoes because they do help to pollinate so much. I wish they'd stay off me, but whatever. So we'll end with this summer's reading. Which I've taken from Richard Wagamese and his book, What Comes from Spirit. Within me are trees. Within me are trees. Within me are bird songs, tides, winds, the shift of glaciers. Within me is a child's cry, an old one's whisper, a heart bursting with joy, love, grieving, sorrow, the calmness of prayer, and a shout from the rooftops. Within me is life. Within me is wonder. Within me is the potential and the possibility of everything and anything. But I need to stay connected to life in order for that to occur. When my everyday walking consciousness is tuned to life and not my own self-seeking wants and dreams, I become that consciousness. I become alive again. Today. Every day. How cool is that? And that's Write It Out for this week. Thank you so much for joining me here. Stay well. Bye for now.